Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Mornings with Mayish, though I guess we could say afternoons with Mayish today, as it's 1:30 Eastern Time. I am so glad to have you all here, whether you're watching live or you're listening to our podcast or the video replay. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Right now, we are live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. One quick note about Instagram. I don't know if you all have noticed, but I have not been able to repost any of our long form video replays of Mornings with Mayish because they do not allow us to do that anymore. I used to be able to upload up to 60 minutes, and that is not happening. So, if you're wondering where the replays are or what happened on Instagram, that is why. But you can always find us on our blog, on Facebook, and YouTube. So definitely check that out. And of course, our podcast. Today, I am thrilled to introduce our guest today, someone who has worked, whose work is as heartfelt as it is beautiful. Camile Craig, owner of New Leaf Floral Design, is a florist and manage customer based in Seattle, Washington. And her journey into floral design is one of those stories that's just going to make you smile. Camille grew up in her mother's garden, making bouquets from whatever blooms she could forage. She hid those little creations behind her back before proudly presenting them to her mom, who would then proudly display them on her kitchen windowsill. 20 years later, Camille says she still feels that same rush of excitement when she's designing, and honestly, you can see it in her work. She loves whimsy, texture, and color, all the wild, wonderful elements that make life a little more magical. And what really sets Camille apart is the way she approaches each design. She's not just arranging flowers, she's creating a specific expression of who her clients are, their stories, their favorite colors, their unique personalities. All of it comes together in her hands. As you may have seen on Instagram, Camille also recently participated in our Wicked Design Challenge, bringing her signature style to the emerald greens and sparkling pinks of the Land of Oz. Who's excited about this movie? I know I am. I'm so excited. So since the design challenge. And in terms of Camille's work, just let me tell you, the results were really stunning. So I'm going to post a link so you can check that out. I'm already going to just got started, and Camille's not even on, and I'm posting a link here in the comments. So definitely check it out. For those that are watching on Instagram, check it out after you're done watching us live. So today we are going to be talking with Camille about how she balances her creative vision with client requests, how she's built a brand rooted in authenticity and community, and what advice she has for florists who are still discovering their design identity. Camille, where are you on my screen? Let me see. Everything has changed, you guys. Everything's always changing. Camille, welcome.
Hi. Hi. How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Good. Doing well. So excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you. And, again, this was really exciting. Anna on my team came to me and she's like, I have this customer and I'm going to work with her on this, on our Wicked challenge, and it's going to be really cool. And then she was just so excited after meeting you. And she's like, she has to be on Mornings with Mayish. So welcome. And I'm so excited that you're here.
Thank you. I'm so excited. I'm honored, really. It's going to be so fun to chat with you. Yeah.
Yes. So your bio beautifully describes making bouquets for your mother as a child and still feeling that same excitement today. How has that sense of wonder and whimsy shaped your brand identity as a florist?
I mean, it's everything, right? Like that was my first interaction with flowers. That's what I did. I mean, I grew up in New Hampshire, so I really didn't have that much to do. We lived in the middle of nowhere, so like my entertainment came from going outside. She'd be like, "Get outside, like go enjoy nature." We had, an acreage of woods that we could go through, and I would build like little fairy houses and all kinds of stuff. So I think that I have carried that with me for my entire life, as far back as I can remember. And I like went to college for something completely different. I tried different jobs, like I tried different careers, and I always like came back to flowers and always felt really excited whenever I had the chance to be around them. And then yeah, I mean the brand identity and the whimsical nature of it just kind of unfolded as time has passed on. Yeah, it's been a wild ride so far.
Yes, yes. I love that. And love your design style. You
Thank you.
also you mentioned that community is a huge part of what makes your business thrive. How does that community connection influence the way you approach client consultations and your design work?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, our community here in Seattle is huge in terms of like the floral industry. We all rely on each other and it's wonderful, right? I just like I go to the market and I have to spend like an extra 20, 30 minutes just like catching up with people, saying hi, giving hugs. And that like warmth and friendship comes through, I think, when we're chatting with clients and when we're, having them, book for their weddings or events. We're like, yeah, I mean, this is a huge community of florists. Like it's never just me designing all of these things. You have to do it with a team. Like there is no possible way that I would be able to do events as large as we've been booking without my wonderful team. So yeah, I'm always like approaching the client with that knowledge and telling them that like this is a community effort, like on the farmer's side, on the wholesaler side, like it goes all the way through. And that has always been such an important part of the business to me, and like making sure we're taking care of those relationships and that our clients really know that a part of their investment is going straight back into that community. Like it's just important to keep it home and keep it within our, sweet little friendships that we have with the wholesalers and with all the farmers and stuff. And I think our clients really love knowing that.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I know we kind of skipped over this a little bit in the beginning. Can you tell me more about your business? Like when did you
Yeah.
start? Like
Yeah.
what are you guys into? What are you
Cool.
doing?
Yeah, totally. I started it as this idea. I mean, I was sitting at a desk in my office job that I hated so much. It was not for me at all. Yeah, like 9 to 5 in a building with no windows for, those many hours a day, just sitting at a desk. And I knew that I needed something else. So that is why it's called New Leaf, because I was turning a new leaf. Like I had went to college and gotten that job because I had my degree and stuff. And it just didn't fit. It didn't feel like what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. So 2018, I had the idea, right? So I feel like it started then, but then it also like didn't really get going until 2020. And then, of course, like we all know, the pandemic happened. That made it really hard. But 2021, we jumped right back to it. We got married and, we did our own flowers. Like we just practiced as many times as we could. And then 2022 was our first really big year. And I really kind of jumped into like taking online classes and learning more about floral design in general. Like I had worked at a flower shop, like a local flower shop here in college, but it was not really the style that I felt drawn to the most. And
Right.
really took a deep dive on Instagram and like found people that were local, started freelancing for them, people that inspired me. And, it just kind of grew from there, right? Like the more people I talked to, the bigger that community got and the more jobs that I got, referrals were sent over, right? So, and I think me really taking the time to build my portfolio and like create things just for myself that made me feel good, sort of like came through in the work, and everybody was like really, got more excited about it as time has gone on. So we love texture, we love color, we love whimsy. I love color theory. I'm just like such a nerd about it. So
Love
yeah,
it.
I'm always down for a new fun color palette. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. And that's a perfect segue for my next question because I have it started. You love whimsy, texture, and color.
Yeah.
So when a client comes to you with a theme that really doesn't naturally align with those elements, how do you bridge that gap? Or is it or does that not happen to you?
Oh, it still happens for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, I think people I mean, it's like we're in this economy where people are shopping around, which makes sense, right? Like they're trying to find a good deal, they're trying to like find who fits best. And I do get inquiries that I'm like, if this isn't really my style, and I will be upfront and transparent, with that client and be like, I think that this person might be a better fit for you. I'm never afraid to like refer clients to somebody else who I feel like they would fit better, because there's nothing that I dislike more than like creating something that I'm not excited about, which I know kind of
Right.
sounds maybe like, oh, well, why would you like not book something? You need money. Like, Yes, it's like a tricky balance though. It's like every time that I've done an event where I'm like, I'm not super proud of this, I haven't felt great about it. So, definitely taking the time to like communicate with that client and be like, well, maybe, if you like white flowers, which is totally fine. Like I love white too, right? Like I can do something really funky and textural with like the different types of foliages, and like I will try to pull them to a place where I'm like, I like this and I would like to design this for you. And
Right, right.
sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. And that's just kind of the nature of it all, So you have to be okay with telling them, being transparent and being upfront with, maybe your design doesn't align with my aesthetic, and that's okay.
Did that take you a while to get to that space? Because I feel like
Definitely.
that's very brave, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's hard
Yeah.
to make a living as a floral
Yes.
designer, right? It's not easy. And so when you're starting a business, I feel like, a lot of times you just have to take whatever comes your way just so you
Absolutely.
can survive and
Yeah.
get started. So, like,
Totally.
how long did that take you to get to that spot where you felt
I was
okay being like, "You know what?
yeah.
Maybe this person will be better for you."
Yeah. I think it was I mean, that's like a more recent development. It's still scary, right? Like it's still um very intimidating to like have clients come to you with all their different ideas and you are responsible for making their dreams come true, right? Like no pressure at all.
Right.
But yeah, it's one of those things where in the beginning, like I would have to take whatever I could get, right? And I worked in the restaurant industry and did flowers at the same time so that I would have money to put into my portfolio or money to buy the flowers, right? Because I was like booking jobs that were, definitely underpriced, worked for free a lot of the times. And that is like, it was such a sacrifice. And I don't feel that every person should have to do that. Like, I wish that I had found some sort of resource before I went through all that, but I also I don't regret like any step of that journey, right? Like it
Right.
was hard and it really was, I had a lot of sleepless nights and stressful days, but I think all of that was worth it to be where we are right now and to be where on the path that we're going. So, yeah, I mean it is one of those things where you kind of have to like decide, do I work on my brand right now? Do I start that first? Like, do I have the resources and time to do that? Or do I just really need to pay my bills? And like, maybe you don't even know what your style is in the beginning, right? So, like,
Yeah.
if you take a bunch of different types of jobs and you figure out, oh, well, I really like working in this style, then you just kind of run with that. So, it did give me an opportunity to decide what I liked and what I didn't like. And I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so for the Wicked Design Challenge, you were working with a
Mm.
very specific theme, emeralds and pinks, as inspired aesthetics. How did you make that theme your own while staying true to the challenge?
Oh my gosh. I already felt like it was so up my alley anyway. I was like, "Oh,
Right.
it's magic and it's pink and green and colors and texture and there's so many different." And I got so inspired, like I watched the movie and was like had it fresh in my mind for the challenge. So we sat and sang and listened to and I took screenshots of the movie as I was watching it, and like different ways that the sets were designed, the costumes. Uh, Elphaba's glasses really inspired like the calla lily twist that you can see in the bouquet that I made, and that's why I
Yes.
kept like putting my putting my eyes up to it to be like, these are supposed to be glasses. Um, yeah, I think it was already kind of my own from the beginning, right? Like I was already
Yeah.
inspired by it. I already felt had the ideas in my head as I was like sitting with Sam and talking about different flowers that we were going to order, and the different things that we thought would work well in that design. And when I came and picked everything up, I was like, oh my gosh, this all works, and we're going to do something really cool. And I had seen, I've been trying to like learn how to use wires and flowers and like do kind of push the boundaries a bit of my own designs, right? Like I'm always
Yes.
trying to learn something new, always trying to test things out, and it was the perfect opportunity to do that. Especially I was really proud of the bouquet that I made, and I really hope that people hire me to make a bouquet similar to that, because it was really fun to make and it lasted for days afterwards. And I was just like, I was really excited about that new design technique and kind of inspiring other florists to push the boundaries a bit.
I love it. I love it. So, for those of you guys who are interested in joining our Wicked Fun and potentially pushing your design boundaries, which we would love to see, here are the details. So, it's very easy. This is just one of our fun design challenges. You just need to create a Wicked inspired design. It could be any flowers, any style, anything that you want. Even if you have like an older design that you've done that you were like, this is going to be perfect for this, go ahead and use that. So you just need to post to your Instagram by November 28th, and it has to be a post. It can't be a story because stories disappear and we can't keep track of that. That's very difficult for us. And then you need to tag Mayish Wholesale, use the hashtag Mayish Wicked Challenge. And then there's gonna be a whole like voting and all of that. We're gonna do some internal voting. And you'll see all the details are up on our blog. And let me just share that. It's in our comments, but also just go to mayish.com/blog. And if you want the full URL, it's there on your screen. And so the winner will receive $350 in flowers and a Mayish swag bag. Again, just something fun to celebrate the new movie coming out. And yeah, we also thought it was just perfect for the flower industry and for florists to have
Yeah.
fun. Like, we love this. We even are like trying to get our branches. They're very busy right now, but I know some of them have gotten into the spirit too. And we're doing a Mayish poll challenge with them, which you guys will, I think, be able to vote on. So we're just having a lot of fun. So have some fun with us. I hope some wicked fun.
Yes, do it. Do it. It was great. I highly recommend if you're like trying to practice and get your creative juices flowing. It's a great
Yes,
great exercise. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So let's go back to you.
Okay.
You describe creating a specific expression of who they are for each client. How early in that process do you start identifying what makes each client unique, and how do you translate that into floral design?
Yeah, I that's like the first thing that I'm talking to them about. Like anytime I have the first client call or meeting, I'm like, what do you love about flowers? Who in your life loves flowers? Like, is it your grandma? Is it your mom? Did you just get drawn to them? Like, what are your favorite colors? What are, pieces of furniture in your house that you put flowers on, right? Like anything that reminds that, or like a memory that you have of flowers. I think that those pieces of information are so important to when I'm shopping for things or when I'm sourcing flowers. When I'm making a proposal, I even put inspirations in there that are not flower oriented at all. Like,
Right.
if someone's like, I really love the sweetness or the texture of this, or I want it to feel like honey or whatever, I will put like, an aesthetic looking drip of honey or something, right, to pull it all in. Because I
Right.
feel like if people are only just seeing stuff that's like from your portfolio or from Pinterest photos or wherever you find the floral photos that you're using in your proposals, like they can kind of get overwhelmed by the amount of different pictures that you're showing them that are just floral oriented. And I want them to be reminded of, like where they started. Like I had one client that was really into donuts, and like donuts were going to be at their wedding. So like I found this cool donut that had all these fun sprinkles on it that was in their color palette and threw that on their proposal, right? Like just doing things that make it uniquely theirs from the very beginning makes them feel special because they are special. You're telling each story every time you're doing someone's wedding, and I think that that really helps us to like stand out and to have our clients feel like they are important to us, because they are. And I take that into every single job that we do. So, yeah, I really love telling their story and having everything look like it's at the same party, from like flowers to decor to like their desserts or whatever. I'm always like, more communication is better, right? Like
Yeah.
tell me everything.
Yes.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. So, when you are talking to your clients and they know they want something special, but they might not know how to like they don't have the visual language to describe it. How do you draw that out of them? Because there are a lot of people like who are like, I want this, but they don't know how to articulate it because they're not in our world. This is like
Yeah.
most of the times it's totally outside of their wheelhouse and their comfort zone.
Hmm.
Because this is like a whole brand new experience, right? Like they grew up like
Yeah.
with dresses and cakes and things like that. But a lot of times the flowers, this is like their first big experience within the floral
Yes.
world.
Yeah, and they don't have any education about it, right? Or like why
Yeah.
it costs as much as it does or whatever. Yeah, I really try hard not to be intimidating, to be like, look, these are flowers. We can talk about it in a very, in layman's terms. Like I always try, I'm always like, people are like, how do you describe your style or whatever, like, how do you describe the style of this? I'm like, they're just dancing, they're having a good time. We're at a party, right? Like
Right.
describing things in a way that is more approachable, and talking about the through lines that I can see on their Pinterest board. Like sometimes I get Pinterest boards and I'm like, there's 10 different styles on here, but you really seem to be
Yes.
drawn to arrangements with hydrangeas or whatever. So let's roll with that. And like, why do you like hydrangeas? So I will spend a lot of time before, like, if I can get their inspirations beforehand, which I usually do if they're inquiring through our website. I will spend a lot of time going through their Pinterest, checking out, where I can see repeats of things that they are drawn to and bring those up during the call. And really try to like just try to not be, like pompous about it, right? Like be just like you're having a conversation with a friend, and help them to understand like where the money is going, why it costs this much, and really break it down for them. And I think the more that you work with it, the more time you spend talking to people. Even if those people don't book you, it's still practice, right? Like talking to them, and really kind of like honing in on what words work. But yeah, I would say try not to use too many artsy words because
Right.
they might not know. So, like really focusing, I always focus more so on color and color palettes because people can, they're like, I like blue. And I'm like, okay, do you like light blue or dark blue? Or do what kinds of blues do you like? Send me pictures, and I can kind of pinpoint what those things are and give them names for it as we move through the design process. But yeah, it's definitely like you gotta kind of ease them into it for sure.
Right, right, right. I
Yeah.
wanted to go back a little bit because when we were talking about taking on work that's not really on brand or your design style, do you think it's ever um, do you think it's ever harmful to do things that aren't on brand? What are your thoughts
Yeah.
there?
I think harmful is like it's a pretty aggressive word, like in terms of what
Right,
that means like to each person. But I think if you are taking on a job, you have to weigh your options in the sense that like, okay, this job is a lot of money, maybe it's not my style, but I really need this money, and what can I do with that money that is going to, promote my business or propel me forward to this other place where I want to be, like, where you're envisioning yourself in a year or 2 years. So I think that, you don't have to share every single thing that you make. You don't have to share every event. You can share your own like styled shoots, or you can do your own projects, but the way that you can get to those projects is by getting paid to do things that you might not want to do. And like, we're all adults, right? So sometimes you have to do things that you don't want to do. And I've definitely been there, and I think that it's a very important part of the process, right? It's an important part of learning who you are as a business owner and who you are as a brand. And I think that all of that is always worth it, right? Like it can be harmful in the sense that like your mental health and your emotional health, with your business in relationship to your business, could be affected, right? Like I definitely felt like I was stuck in this rut of doing like white blush and eucalyptus weddings for like a year, and I was
right,
like, is this what it's gonna be, right? Like, is this what my life is going to be? And then it was, I learned that I needed to spend time building my portfolio and taking some of that money that I had made, even if it's just like $100, which is still a lot of money, right? Like, even, but taking that and like really getting the most out of that $100 and like making several portfolio pieces with it, like, a flat lay, a centerpiece, a bridal bouquet, right? You can really get a lot out of $100 worth of flowers. And take pictures with your phone, like get some kind of a backdrop, right? Like you can invest in these smaller things. And I think that that is really important if you are like spending time doing jobs that you aren't super excited about. Like do stuff with some of that money that you are excited about.
Absolutely. I love that advice. That was great.
Yeah.
So, speaking of advice, what advice would you give to florists who are still discovering their design identity? And how do you figure out that whimsy? How did you figure out that whimsy, texture, and color were your thing?
Yeah. Yeah, just I say spend time designing for yourself always. That is what drew you to it in the first place. That's why, and maybe, I don't know, that's like what drew me to it in the first place. It's like I had already done all these other jobs. I had already tried different avenues and I just kept coming back to working with flowers. And I really, I want to spend my life doing something that I love. And that's really important to me because we only get this one chance
Right,
to go through it. So why spend it doing something that you're not excited about? And in terms of like discovering your identity, like you're not going to discover anything about yourself if you don't give yourself that time. And I've been doing it for a long time now. Like I've been working with flowers for over a decade, like for myself and for other people. So people are like, hey, you make it look so easy, like how did you're just been doing this for and it's like, no, there has been all of this stuff that has happened, right, that you weren't here for, or that I didn't talk about on Instagram, because people will see like your life on Instagram and to them that's your life, right? But like that's
right,
not the true journey, right? Like that is not a true representation of like all of the things that I had to go through to get to this point. And I'm sure you could ask any florist and they would say the same thing, right? Like it is a wild journey, it's a wild job. You have to be prepared for long days and hard nights, and it's a lot. It is a major investment in yourself and in other people and in that community. So I would say taking the time to create projects that you are excited about, like a branding shoot or a styled shoot, even if you're just doing a tablescape, right? Like don't even involve models or any, you don't have to make it so complicated, right? Like
right,
try it simple at first. Do one thing at a time, take it one project at a time, like find a color palette you really love working with, find flowers that you really love working with, talk to your wholesalers, talk to the farmers, talk to different florists, go get coffee with them, like literally anything that you can do for your business on that day. Like maybe once a week you do something for your business, like if you're just starting out and you're still working at another job, like do put something on your calendar, hold yourself accountable, have other people help hold you accountable. And that will help grow, and that will help you to feel better about your journey and your path. And I figured out my journey and path by just doing all of that, right? Like I figured out that
right,
whimsy and color and texture I mean, those have always been my thing, like without flowers, right? Like my house is decorated in lots of crazy colors, and I love, like buying weird furniture and lamps and like pieces of art that, my friends have made or I found on Instagram, and supporting other artists, right? And it's like your little collection of your life. So your brand should be you, right? Like if you are into like creams and beiges and texture and dry flowers, like that's you, right? And you don't have to be exactly me, right? But I figured out that I love those things a long time ago, and just tried to pull them and bring them into my business. So it was really before the flowers that I figured that out.
yeah. Do you think when you kind of figured out your identity and like who you wanted to be as a business, was that when things kind of started taking off for you?
Definitely. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. When I started making pieces that I was really proud of and taking time to photograph them and Instagram about them and making reels and just kind of being your truest self, like however it's really uncomfortable to like film yourself and
yes,
put, because I'm usually just like alone in my studio, with my
right,
phone on a like tripod or whatever, and I'm just like dancing or do something that like loosens you up a little bit. Like you are just by yourself, but you're going to be we have this like notion that everything needs to be perfect when we present it on Instagram, and I think people really don't want to see the perfection. They want to see you being silly or like having a good time or maybe they want to see like the hard parts of your job or the gross parts of your job. Like there's a lot of gross parts about being a florist, right? Like dirty buckets, or your studio is a mess, or whatever. Like, don't worry about it being perfect. Just keep going and doing, be yourself, right? Like try as hard as you can to separate your like separate how worried you are about what people are going to think of you. Like the minute I stopped worrying about that, like a lot of things opened up in terms of like what I could create.
Yeah, I love that. One of our past design stars, Christy Hulsey, used to say, "It doesn't have to be perfect to be beautiful," and that just reminded
Yeah,
me of that.
totally.
Yes, yes,
Absolutely. Yeah. Major, like, super agree on that. It does not have to be perfect, because guess what? It's never going to be perfect. Like, it is. It is in the imperfections that it's beautiful. I find the weirdness and the imperfections in nature to be beautiful. That's like why I'm highlighting crazy looking stems, or like I'm looking at every single piece of that and really trying to like push that boundary, like breaking rules. Like, why does every stem have to be covered? It doesn't, right? Like I love a stemmy moment. I love like when something is weird or pushes like some sort of rule that we all thought we were supposed to be following, because you don't. It's nature. It grows however it wants to grow, and you should be able to design it in whatever way that you feel you want to. And I think if you kind of let the flowers do a lot of the work themselves, like, learn to look at them and be like, oh, your job is to be up high and like curving toward the center. And your job, you're
right.
the big, you're a giant rose. Like you should be down here and, like showing everyone your face, right? Like there's so many ways to like talk to yeah, exactly. There's just like so many ways to approach it. And I think the more you look at flowers, and the more you try to like talk to them and learn what each of their jobs are, the better off you'll be in terms of designing for yourself.
I love that. I kind of want to dig in a little bit about you're saying like it's just me and a tripod and I'm making these videos and
Yeah.
reels. Like how, because I know a lot of people feel uncomfortable being on camera, doing those kinds of
Mm.
things. Like, what is your advice for that? And like, and maybe can you talk a little bit about like the importance of that for like, have you found that you're getting business? Like, is it helping you grow? Like, what are
Yeah,
the benefits that you're
definitely.
seeing? Like, because obviously you're putting in the effort to make that happen because social media is a lot of work.
Oh,
I have I am lucky. I'm a marketing team for a company. And so I have people to do those things. Even when I have to do it, I feel overwhelmed, even though like
yeah.
that's how I
Yeah.
started here at Mayish was like I was like the community manager, and so I
Right.
did all things social, but it's when you have other things going on, it can feel very overwhelming. So like I guess talking a little bit how you got started, how you're making it a priority, and why you're making it a priority would be really cool
Yeah.
if you're comfortable talking about that.
Oh, totally. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's terrifying to like take videos of yourself. You're just like, is this stupid? And then I'm like, well,
Yeah,
who cares, right? Like, who cares if it's stupid? I'm the only person right now that is thinking that it's stupid, because I'm the only person that's in my studio doing this, right? So,
right,
and I think like the feedback, I think once you start doing it and you get positive reinforcement and positive feedback, that is helpful, right, for you to do it the next time. But the first time you do it is going to be so awkward and so weird. You're just like, okay, and here we are. And like the video, like when I was doing the Wicked Design Challenge, that video of it's like 30 seconds or 10, it's like a really short, it took me like 2 hours to make that, right? So it's really like
right.
you have to set aside some time. I took a video that was like 45 minutes of me making that centerpiece, and then clipped it and spent time getting frustrated with Instagram because it wouldn't let me do certain things with the video.
Yep.
So it's
Good
really
old
like,
Instagram.
yeah, good old Instagram. Thank you so much. Thanks for nothing. Uh, but yeah, I think I started doing that. I think it is really important to show your face to your clients, or to people who are going to potentially be your clients, because you are the person that they're going to be interacting with if you're the owner of your business. A lot of florists don't have like actual employees or team members that they keep on staff all year, because that is incredibly expensive, and it's already really difficult to make a profit as a florist anyway. So We have a lot of freelancers and things like that. So you're really alone in this a lot of the time. It can be a very lonely job. And I think the more that you can like show your face on your Instagram, you're going to make more friends because they see who you are.
Right.
They see your face. And a lot of times when I've had calls with like intro calls with clients, they're like, oh, we feel like we already know you because we've checked out your Instagram, and we see you're so silly and kind and approachable and all these things. And that's what I want them to feel. I want them to feel that way when they go to our website, when they go to our Instagram. I want them to feel like they're just talking to somebody who is their friend or who is willing to be their friend. And I've become friends with some of my clients after their events or weddings. And I think that it's such a beautiful thing to kind of like make it a more personal experience for them. And you can't really do that if you're not showing your face. They don't know what your personality is if all you're showing is flowers. And
Right.
I feel like, yeah, I feel like that has like also sort of defined our brand more by like I'm a silly person, right? Like if anybody who has worked with me knows that like I'm funny, like I joke around, I like to make light, I like to be, like a class clown basically because it makes me more comfortable when people are laughing and having a good time. And I can't really do that. The flowers don't really do that for me, right? Like people are like, oh, the flowers are so beautiful. That's great. But like also I want them to have this experience of working with somebody who honestly genuinely cares about everything that we are presenting, everything that we're doing. And make them, I want them to know who we are when we show up on their wedding day. Like I want them to know who our team is and who I
Right.
am and what I stand for. So, you know, that has definitely helped me to grow and has absolutely been, something that clients have brought up. And I feel like I'm just going to keep doing that because the positive reinforcement, right? Like that happened, and it's working. So yeah,
Yeah.
go for it. I would say go for it, even if it's scary, because being a business owner is scary. Like you have to do scary things. And that's, I try to rephrase it, like it's not scary, it's exciting. Like,
Right. Right.
yeah, it's
Two
exciting.
things can be true at the same
Two
time.
things can be true. Absolutely. Yes.
Yes. I love that. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And you guys, get your tripod, get on video,
Yeah,
even if
do
you're
it.
not talking right away, like just get comfortable and then be brave and start talking. I mean, even I've been speaking on video to you guys since I think 2017-ish.
Wow.
And I still get a little bit nervous, but now I'm just like, I'm gonna mess up. I'm gonna stutter. Like it's just who I am. Like it's
Just
okay.
happens.
Everyone
Yeah.
knows. Like it's not a big deal. And if you don't know, now you know.
Yes.
And it's gonna be right. Or like there's gonna be mistakes, or I'm gonna have a technical issue, and that's not my fault. So, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
um, it took a long time to get there though, because I remember just being like, okay, because I'm very introverted, which people don't believe. I'm very introverted and very not like I was, I still am not like the best speaker in the whole wide world, but I've gotten better over time. That is for sure. So you just, yeah, practice makes
Practice. Yep.
near perfection.
Near perfection. Yeah, it's not even about like getting to perfection, right? Like
Yeah,
it's
it's
just about it's like,
being
as we're
comfortable.
having a being comfortable, yeah, with being uncomfortable.
Yeah, I
Yes.
say that all the time to my
Yep.
girls, to my team, like that is my mantra, just being comfortable with being uncomfortable, and I love that.
Yep.
And then the other thing that I love that you said too was, people feel like they know you. So what that really means though is like you're building trust with people that
Hmm.
haven't really met you yet, and that
Yes.
is priceless, right? Like
Yeah.
people like because people need to trust you and love you to be able to give the money and be like, okay, you can do my wedding, right? And that's like the best feeling in the world. Like, okay, I seen you, I trust you, I'm so excited to work with you, and here are my ideas. But I'm guessing a lot of the clients are like, I also love what you do, I want that to be part of my day. I'm sure that
Yeah.
comes across too.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. And that trust is like helps them to believe it more, right? Because you can be in your studio and make as many pieces as you want. Like you could spend hours making a piece perfect, but like if
Right.
like can you do that for someone's wedding day? Like can you do this in a time crunch? Like can you do this when their beautiful wonderful grandmother is sitting there, in the ceremony chairs, like
Right.
watching you build an arch? Like can you handle that pressure? And I think the more that you practice handling that pressure just on your own, the better you're going to be, like when you get on site and you actually have to do it in front of people. Like it's going to happen. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Camille, looking back at your journey from making backyard bouquets to running your business, what's one lesson about staying true to yourself as an artist that you wish you would have learned earlier?
Oh my gosh, I really wish I had like learned to trust myself a little earlier on.
Love that.
Yeah, I wish that, but again, I don't regret any parts of that path or any parts of this journey. I think, I really wish I had like followed my instincts and like not done anything like working in this corporate job or whatever. I was really just trying to like follow this path that wasn't for me. And I always kind of knew in the back of my mind that I would be doing something that has to do with art, right? Like in high school, I thought I was going to be an interior designer or a photographer. And it's funny because I am kind of those things a little bit, just in a different way. And both of my parents are artists, and my mom is a painter, and my dad is a furniture designer. And it's pretty cool to like be inspired by that and see them run their businesses and build their lives based off of the art that they're able to sell and put into other people's homes. And it's very inspiring. So I kind of wish that I had just like trusted that it was going to be okay instead of like following this path that somebody else told me to do. Someone's like, oh,
Right.
you should go to school for psychology, it's so easy, you can get into UW Bothell like super quick, and they don't even, and I just did this easier path and kind of saved the harder stuff for later, and wish I had just like jumped in. But maybe I wouldn't have been able to do that if I hadn't done that harder thing for, that easier path
Right.
first, and like discovered that that wasn't really for me and that I needed something more challenging. So, I definitely, it's like, it's such a mixed bag of emotions when it comes to like looking back on how the journey started and why it started. But yeah, I definitely am glad that I have made it here, and so happy to keep going and keep learning. And yeah, there's just, it never ends. It is endless amounts of learning and knowledge that you can take in. So
I
I'm
love
excited
that.
for what's next. Yeah.
I love that. And I want to share this with my oldest. I mentioned it earlier. I have two daughters. One's 11 and my other is 16. So she's a junior in high school and she's,
Mm.
always worrying about like what should I do? Am I going to school? Am I not going to go to school? What am
Oh
I
my
like
gosh.
all like
Yeah.
and she's still really, most kids, and most young adults, honestly, and even some older adults, they don't really know what they want to do or what they love or where they want to spend kind of those working hours doing. So it's a big deal and like a hard
Yeah.
journey, I feel like, for most people. So thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I just wanted to see before we wrap up if you had any closing thoughts that you wanted to share.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody out there is listening that is just starting this journey or is in the middle of this journey and is in a rut, just keep going. That those ruts will happen, and it can be really difficult to get yourself out of them. But I'll say making some floral friends, connecting, going to get coffee. It's a slower season for some of us. So, try getting out there, talking to each other, and trusting yourself and trusting that you can do this, and that you are here for a reason, and that you are drawn to flowers for a reason. It is such a wonderful job to have. It is very magical and very whimsical, very colorful. It like sometimes I am like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I get to do this. And it's really like a reality check.
Right.
Especially when I'm feeling really stressed out and when I'm like worried about bookings or worried about whatever. I'm like, it's all going to work out. It's going to work out as long as you want it to, as long as you want to put that work in, you'll make it happen. So keep trusting yourself. I wish I'd done it earlier, but we're doing it now. So like go for it now.
I love it. I love it. And for those that want to connect with you after the show, what's the best way to do that?
Yeah, you can shoot me an email, or to chat with me on Instagram. Happy to check my direct messages and get back to you on there. But yeah, emails are great. I check it way too often. So yeah,
Awesome.
just reach out. Would love to chat with you and get to know you and build more community.
Perfect, perfect. So, guys, I have Camille's Instagram up on the screen and in the comments. I'll also be up on our show notes and recap on our blog here in a day or two, so that way you can connect with Camille afterwards. And Camille, thank you so, so much for your time
Thank
today. This was
you.
amazing.
Thank you so much, Yvonne. I have had a great time. Thanks for
Yeah,
having me.
thank you. And guys, that's a wrap on today's Mornings with Mayish. Again, Camille, thank you so much for sharing your story, your insights, and your beautiful perspective on floral design with us today.
Of
And
course.
before we go, I also wanted to wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving. I hope your holiday is filled with lots of love, laughter, and delicious, yummy food. That's the best part of the day. And, as we head into the season of gratitude, I have to say, I'm just really thankful for this community. Whether you're a longtime Mayish customer, a florist tuning in for inspiration, or joining us for the very first time today, just wanted to thank you. Everyone here at Mayish is grateful for your support, your creativity, and the passion you bring to the industry. We truly could not do what we do without you.
Yeah.
So, guys, stay tuned for the next episode, which I think is going to be in a couple of weeks. I'm going to schedule my last one of the year, I think, for the first week of December, guys, which is
Same.
crazy to think about.
That's
So,
crazy. Oh my gosh.
right? I'm not ready. I'm not ready for
No.
2026. Like, what?
No. What's going on? Where
I
did the year
know.
go?
Exactly, exactly. Anyhow, thank you guys so much. And again, happy designing, happy Thanksgiving, and I will see